Didik TV KPM.
Okay, thank you, Sean. So, what we are going to do now, okay, it is going to be a speaking activity, one of the objectives that we need to achieve for our lesson today. Okay, so the title would be solving a problem. Okay, why we need to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, because we are dealing with teenagers, pupils who struggle with daily life.
Yeah.
So maybe by introducing this topic to youngsters out there, the pupils, they will have some time or maybe the ability to have like certain skill. This one also considered as like a social skill, whereby they need to understand the problem and find ways to actually solve a problem.
Okay. Yeah.
And for the speaking activity is going to help them to improve their speaking ability, of course.
All right.
Okay, now, before we start doing the activities, I would like to share a few speaking strategies that is going to help our pupils in the online and also pupils at home to pay attention what you can do, to improve yourself, or maybe making the question easy for you, or you will find it easier for you to answer the question because you have certain strategies.
Okay.
So it's good to have strategies. Okay, the first one, look carefully and listen to the examiner to find out as much information as you can about the situation. Sometimes there are questions that the examiner try to explain to you in order for you to understand what's the problem. Okay?
Okay.
We are going to look at the activities later on, so don't worry much about this. But you will be given a situation.
Okay.
Okay? Number two, think about the advantages and disadvantages and talk about each option before you decide on the best one.
Okay.
So which is very good. Once you are given problems, so you need to find, in other terms, beside advantage or disadvantages, pros and cons of the situation before you end up with a decision on which one is the best for you.
All right.
So we are also giving them the skills for their daily life as well, right? Which is very good, and I love this activity so much. Okay, and then last one, remember there are no right or wrong answers, so you can say what you think, because we want to encourage them to say what is on their mind.
Okay.
Because every pupils have different experience in their daily life.
That's true.
They came from different background, just like you and me.
Yep.
How we were brought up by our family is going to affect how we are going to think.
That's true.
By doing this activity, we are giving them like a platform so that they can exchange idea, try to understand, or without having like any worries, people condemning you. We are giving them like safe ground.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before, it's a very good idea, and also teachers need to be ready to be neutral as well.
Yeah.
Because teachers also come from another background.
That's true.
That might affect the way we think. But being a teachers, we need to be neutral. We need to see how our pupils are going to say about the situation or problems they are going to face. Okay.
Okay.
So before we start using the language, right? So it is good to have a very good example or samples that we can follow. Okay. So in this book, they gave useful expression, for certain situation. Like for example, giving advice.
Yeah.
So number one, if I were him, I would. So that is a situation. If you want to put yourself in his or her shoes.
Yep.
If you're talking about somebody. Number two, I think it would be better to. What? And using because. Next one, perhaps he should, or then he could. So this is always helpful when we want to try to put ourselves in someone else's situation. Okay? So while giving advice. The next one also, he should also, another expression that you can use. I really think it's best to do what? Because of something. And to be honest, I love to use this at school. To be honest, because seemingly when we say this word like the pupils try to understand that you are trying to be honest with them, and they would understand you better.
Okay.
It works for me. Okay, you can try and use it. Okay, so this is the task that our pupils online need to do, and also pupils at home could try this activity with your friends.
Okay.
Okay, what is the question? Your friend Mark has been invited to a party the night before an exam. Seemingly very suspicious, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what is the problem? What are the options? What are the advantages and disadvantages of each option? So these three main questions are being asked from the examiner. For example, right? Just like me, I'm going to ask my students, they need to do this. Okay, because this is going to be a PBD, so we are going to give them some time to actually try to figure out the answers.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to help them with this, we are going to pair them up. Yeah. Because let's see. Okay, this is the discussion that they need to do.
Okay.
Yeah. Talk together about what he should do, then say which would be the best.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the discussion that they are going to do for some time. So I think what I can do is Anis and Asha, can you both work together, and also Haikal and Biha will also work together. Or maybe you can do what they can do is try to give some time, or maybe one person can do what is the problem about, or the second person can do the other question, and then maybe both can talk about what are the advantages or the disadvantages of each option.
Okay.
Okay. So we are going to give them some time, a little bit.
Okay. How much time should we give them?
Maybe like a minute or two.
A minute or two. Okay. That's more than enough. I think.
That's more than enough. So I like to talk again to this. Okay.
Okay.
The speaking strategies. So while our pupils try to figure out, so think about the advantages of disadvantages of what's the problem again. Okay. Let's see what's the problem again. So Sean and I can also have like a discussion.
Yeah.
Yes. Mark has been invited to a party the night before an exam. So Mark has an important thing to do the next day, but he was invited to a party which his friend is going to feel, something happened to Mark if Mark didn't attend. Or would you think like Mark's friend would understand his decision of not going? What do you think?
I think it also depends on the relationship that, for example, if Mr. Hanin, you are the one in that situation, what kind of relationship you have with Mark? Is Mark a very close friend? Or is Mark just someone that you know, an acquaintance, or just someone that you just say hi or bye when you're walking past each other? So if, let's say, I think if the relationship is a very strong relationship, and he invites you all the time, maybe over to his house to have a meal or just to hang out, then I would assume that if the relationship is close, if Mr. Hanin is not going to the party, that would make Mark think that something is up, or did he do something wrong? Is there a reason why Mr. Hanin is not going to the party? That would be my assumption.
Yes. Okay. For me also, there are so many factors that we need to consider, right?
That's true.
Because yes, you need to think about the relationship that you have with the person who invites to the party.
Yes.
So you need to consider that. But the thing is, because the main thing here, I have an exam that I need to go to tomorrow, and if I don't want to be selfish as well, because yes, I need to consider the relationship that I have with Mark. But
it's two very different situations, because one is an exam, which means that could translate into your future.
Yes.
One more is more like your social relationship. Or it could be just a time for you to have fun, if you put it in a different way. So it's very complicated. It's hard to decide.
But this is what our pupils have to face in their daily life. They need to make this decision. Even us as an adult, we also face a lot of trouble to think whether we want to go or not to the party. For example, if our situation is different, maybe we are not going to an exam, but we have other things that we need to do the next day.
That's true. Let's find out from our students and also our pupils. Let's see whether they already have their answers.
Okay, can we have the first partner? Thank you. Aisha and Anis. Okay, sure. So let's try to listen to their conversation between Aisha and Anis.
Let me start first. I think the problem is Mark have to choose between going to the birthday party or study for his exam tomorrow.
So the options are between going to the birthday party or study for his exam tomorrow.
I think it would be better to study for his exam because it's very important for his future.
To be honest, I would choose to study too because he will be tired to study late at night and he would not be able to focus answering the exam. So I think he shouldn't take the risk.
Okay.
You agree with me?
Yes, I think he shouldn't go to the party. That's all.
Okay. So from their conversation, they agree that Mark shouldn't go to the party.
Yeah.
As what I said before or earlier, that there's no right or wrong answer.
That's right.
We are just going to let them explore the possibility. For both of them, they agree that Mark shouldn't go to the party.
Yes.
Okay. So why don't we listen to the next pair?
Oh, yes.
I'll go first. I think the problem is Mark has to decide whether to go to the birthday party or study for the exam tomorrow. I really think it's best for him to study because the exam is more important for his school.
To be honest, I really like the idea of going to the party because the party will be much more fun because all of his friends will be there.
If he didn't go to the party, he would have more time to study and will excel in his exam.
Perhaps he should go to the party but leave a little bit early so he could spend a little bit of time to study for his examination. Would you agree?
Sure, it seems reasonable. Since Mark doesn't want to disappoint his friends, he could go to the party and after that he can burn the midnight oil to study. That's all from both of us.
Wow. So this pair, they came to to a consensus where Mark can go to the party but leave the party a bit early and study, burn the midnight oil so that he can still perform the next day. Wow, a very good answer as well.
Yeah.
So both answers from these two pairs are valid.
Yep.
Yeah. So because they look at the problems, what are the options? They look at the advantages and disadvantages of each option. They have done well. So why don't we give award to all of them?
All of them. So here we go. One for Aisha, one for Haikal, one for Nabiha, as well as Anis. Well done, everyone.
Didik TV KPM